My name is Larry Martin and I'm a solutions consultant with Beyond 20. Today I'm going to show you something kind of cool that's not too technical, but it is definitely something that you might want to consider. Now, as we've stated many times, if you have questions about how to do something in Cherwell, you can post those questions to us and we'll respond with either an email or a video. Well, today's video was driven by a customer asking a question, and we thought, let's go ahead and do a video on this, because if one person needs to know, others might. So the question was, how can I create a tooltip without using the Cherwell tooltip? And I will show you what I mean by that whenever we get over into the admin client. But a tooltip, as you know, is when you hover over something, text will display at your mouse to give you some information about the purpose of an object or a field. Well, in this case, they wanted to be able to do a little bit more. They wanted to be able to actually pop up a message instead of using the built-in tooltip. Now, there are a couple reasons you might do this. Some of the reasons I'm going to show you were not reasons they wanted to, but one reason might be that you want to be able to display the text or the tooltip for as long as the customer or user wants to see it. Tooltips normally fade out after a certain amount of time, or if you get your mouse off of the area where the tooltip's enabled, then it disappears and you've got to bring it back up again. Well, with what I'm going to show you using a pop-up, that tooltip, in essence, or the helper text is probably a better term, will stick around until the user clicks the OK button or cancel. So what I've done here on Incident is, for the description field, I've added a button that will behave and provide the helper information that we want to provide to our technicians. Now, the message I've put in here is a little bit more than you probably would want to use, but I'm also using it to illustrate some stuff for you so that you can get those gears churning and come up with a couple of ideas on your own on how to use it. If we click this helper text button, what happens is we get this, and this is my pop-up. Now I can get rid of this display, etc. But now, instead of just a tooltip that says this field holds the general description, I now have this rich text field. And we're going to talk about how you make that a rich text field also. This field holds the general description. It is rich text, so you can add pictures like this, our great Beyond 20 logo. You can also use the zoom button, and instead of having to describe it or whatever, we can actually put a picture of the zoom button to enable a rich text editor that will allow you to do additional customizations, such as adding color. So we can colorize our text. We can also do things like bolding and changing font size, etc. In order to display the rich text features in the pop-up, you must change the format at the bottom left of the pop-up action to text box instead of the default setting of message box. And then I have a screenshot of that text box or format field. Now, all of this is in the CSM client. We just basically provided a helper text or tooltip information to our users so that they know exactly what the purpose of that field is, or that object on that form. Now, how did I do this? Well, obviously I created a button on the form, put an image on it, and a one-step. And then I changed the format of my pop-up from message box to text box. It's important that you do that, otherwise your images and rich text components will not display in the client. Now, I said obviously it's just a button with a one-step. Some of us may need a little more information than that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and cancel the tooltip because I've got the information I needed from it. They could just hit OK and it would disappear as well. Now in our CSM Administrator, I'm going to open my existing blueprint, but what you would do is you would create a new blueprint, go to Incident, edit the form, and then all you're going to do is you're going to drag a button over here. And since this is a kind of light video, I'm going to go ahead and show this. When I created the button, I removed the text off of the button. Then I held Control and selected the existing zoom button. And then I hit make the same size. Then I lined them up. And that's how I created this button. Then on that button, I came up here to the control image and I browsed. And in this case, I just did a search for help so I could find the help icons within the system and choose whichever icon suits you best, or you could use any of the other icons. So select your icon. Then I right click on the button, go to Control Properties, and here's where I create my one step. So hit the ellipsis, come in here, create a one step, new, give it a name, etc. Now I'm going to just edit mine. So in this tooltip, all it is show a pop-up. On our show pop-up, I didn't rename it, but you could rename it. You can give it a caption like tooltip. Then within here, this is where I'm talking about. When you first drag a pop-up item over to your one step, it is defaulted to be a message box. You need to change that to text box if you're going to do anything other than put just basic text in there. Now that it's set to text box, all of our rich text capabilities are there. So this image I simply drug off of the desktop and added it there. This image, the same thing, as well as this one. Hitting the zoom button here, notice now I have my rich text edit field. Now I can do things like drag and drop a picture. I can select a bit of text and bold it. I can hit the font, do several things with that. My text color, background color. Let's just change that to light gray. And notice that is only in that area that I had selected. So you can do all kinds of neat things. You can insert a table, any number of things to make your helper text or tooltip be more useful to your users. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you find some use out of it and that it can make your life a little bit easier. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We produce these videos every week. If you have a question for us, feel free to leave that in the channel and we'll either respond with an email or we'll create a video for you.